When it comes to thinking about the best places to live in the United States of America, the state of Wyoming seldom springs to mind. With vast plains, and of course the spectacular Yellowstone National Park, Wyoming really does have a lot to offer and is, as such, unfairly underrated. Although statewide crime rates hover a little higher than ideal, there are plenty of safe, secure and happy cities and towns to live in Wyoming, as you'll explore below. We took into consideration facts like cost of living, schools and job opportunities too, as well as crime rates and local amenities. These factors make up the 5 core principles we look for in a good place to live. Let's have a look at the best places to live in Wyoming. Number 9. Laramie. Officially ranked higher than Cody, statistically Laramie rolls in at a healthy 3rd best place to live in Wyoming. Public schools in Cody get an A rating, whereas in Laramie is a resounding B+, a small margin on paper but potentially a deciding factor for some people. For those looking for access to great schools, nightlife and also to rent a property, then Laramie may be the place to look. Median rent is $713 against the national median of $928. This is another redeeming feature of life in Laramie. However, Laramie ranks as an impressive 2nd best place to buy a house in Wyoming. It really does have everything going for it. Number 8. Rock Springs. It is the cost of living and accessibility for commuters that are the primary draws of the city of Rock Springs. If top-tier schooling is what you are seeking, then head back to South Park and Rafter J Ranch, but for young couples and empty nesters, it is easy to see why Rock Springs is a popular choice. Good housing with good home value, setting at a median of $199,600, sees many people opting to own rather than rent. It is the rich and prosperous history of Rock Springs that can be explored at a steady pace that keeps the people of Rock Springs so passionate about their home. Locals are proud to help each other, and as such the community feel of Rock Springs is a genuinely wonderful attribute. Number 7. Evanston. Tucked away on the Wyoming/Utah border, the small town of Evanston is ideal for those who need to commute daily to Salt Lake City, which is just an hour and a half drive away. You will find that the provisions of Utah are more accessible than that of Wyoming when in Evanston, and the town is somewhat out in the sticks. However, the population of little over 12,213 people are proud Wyomingites through and through. The town's motto is fresh air, freedom, and fun, and the locals really do live by it. Whether it's a weekend trip to Rock Springs or a family road trip to Salt Lake City, Evanston is something of a hidden gem. Number 6. Powell. The cost of living in Powell would see it trump somewhere like South Park, and with excellent public schools, this small community of 6,408 people is somewhat overlooked by many on their search for the best place to live in Wyoming. As with so many of Wyoming's small towns, Powell is perfectly situated close to campsites and hiking tracks, which would provide young families and couples alike ample weekend adventures. Friendly, hospitable and hardworking are the people of Powell, but with such a small town comes the issue of job opportunities. In a world where remote working is becoming ever more popular, Powell may be of interest if you work from home. Number 5. Kemmerer. Perfectly situated, a 10-minute drive to Kemmerer Municipal Airport that connects you directly to Denver, the small, quiet town of Kemmerer ranks at a hearty 9th best place to live in Wyoming. Home to a quiet community of just 2,600 people, despite the suburban aesthetic of Kemmerer, there is very much a village feel to the area. Certainly not the cheapest place to buy property in the state, with average house prices lying at $169,700, Kemmerer is certainly a candidate for investment property. Although not ideal for commuters, Kemmerer would be an ideal location for a quiet retirement home, should that foresight be called upon. Number 4. Jackson. Within easy reach of the National Elk Refuge with Riverside Flats lying against the backdrop of the snow-capped mountains, Jackson is home to breathtaking scenery and wonderful wildlife. If having access to world-class hiking, skiing, and other outdoor pursuits is influential to you, then Jackson is, without a doubt, the best place in Wyoming for you. A popular suburb for millennials, Jackson is diverse and prosperous. With a comfortable population of 10,000 people, there are countless opportunities to socialize and explore Wyoming from the safe streets of Jackson. Although the cost of living here is a little greater than ideal, it is made up by the easy commuting option, access to national parks, and consistently satisfactory crime rates. Number 3. Buffalo. With the mighty buffalo standing proudly on the flag of Wyoming, it seems only appropriate that Buffalo should round off our list of best places to live in Wyoming. Offering consistently above-average ratings for public schools, diversity and cost of living, it is hard to find fault with Buffalo. To be critical, the median rent of $838 is punchy compared to Lander and Laramie. If a homely neighborhood with its own family-run brewery and being close to the Big Horn Mountains get your ears pricked, then Buffalo is a good shout. However, Laramie ranks as an impressive second-best place to buy a house in Wyoming. It really does have everything going for it. Number 2. Cody. Home to Yellowstone Regional Airport, suburban Cody is the main port of entry for tourists traveling by air to Yellowstone National Park. With non-stop flights to Denver and Salt Lake City, this quiet town is fantastic for commuters. For those wishing to raise a family in an area with ample amenities, but within a stone's throw of America's most outstanding nature, Cody is the place to go. Coupling fantastic schools and plenty of activities for children, it is hard to find fault with Cody. With average home values sitting on the $200,000 mark, buying property is somewhat more accessible here than in South Park. What's more, there are many more properties available to rent, which opens up more options too. Number 1. South Park. Adopting an endearing yet functional rural feel, the small town of South Park tops the charts of the best places to live in Wyoming without question. Not only ranking first as the best place to raise a family in Wyoming, but coming in an impressive third for best places for millennials to live in the state too. With a median household income of $97,286, South Park is comfortably one of the more affluent towns in Wyoming, with the wealth spread fairly across the population of 1,681 people. With 82% of people owning their properties, it is evident that once you move to South Park you are in for the long haul, which can only be taken as a healthy reflection on the contentment of the residents.